Hi everyone. Are you worrying constantly about your grown child and you want to learn to stop doing that? We're going to talk about that today. For those of you that are new here to my channel, I just want to welcome you. My name is Sally Harris, and I'm a mom who walked this difficult road with my own daughter with lots of worry. I promise you that. You know, while her life spiraled, so did mine. And it was a very long journey for us, and so there was a lot of worry and concern. And I want to talk to you today about how to stop worrying about your grown child. So, first of all, I want you to recognize that many times when we try to control someone else, whether it's our child or anyone else, sometimes it's because we don't have a feeling of self-control with ourselves. So whether that stems back to our own childhood or that stems back to a marriage or a relationship or whatever it is, many times as parents, we tend to try to over-control our kids to give us that sense of accomplishment or that sense of control. And when things go awry and our adult child is living a life that maybe we don't approve of or that is a very dangerous situation, whether it be drugs, alcohol, crime, whatever it is, you know, we need to learn to let go of the need for control. So we have this need within us to control them because we think that's our duty. Now, it was our job to raise them. It was our job to keep them safe. But we're talking about adult, grown children, okay? So first of all, I think that is a piece that if you haven't worked through yet, that would be a great place to start, because many times, like I said, the control piece, it literally controls us, right? So you also have to recognize that your child's behavior is not a reflection of your worth as a mom, as a woman, as a wife, as a person, right? Because your grown child is making decisions in their own life that typically have many times nothing to do with you. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, well, she's wrong because it must have everything to do with me because I took care of them. I raised them. This has to be my fault. But your children, your adult grown children, have their own influences. You, as you may have heard me say before many times, you were a huge influence on your son or daughter when they were growing up. But then they grow up and society and their friends and school and all these things have influence, some good, some bad, right? So you are not the only one that shapes your child. They are an individual human being, right? And they're going to have their own likes and dislikes, and they're going to waver down maybe some critical roads that hopefully that they will come out of. But whether they do or they don't, this doesn't have a direct reflection to your worth as a mother. You know, when you're going through this and you're focusing and all you're thinking of is worrying about them, I want you to take that worry and the concern, and I need you to look in the mirror. And a lot of you are going to think this is selfish because I talk about self-care a lot. And at the end of the day, you've got to find something that brings you joy. You have got to find something that you have an interest in. Whether it's something that you had a long time ago that you really always wanted to do, you need to force yourself to do these things. One foot in front of the other. This isn't this huge transformation overnight and I'm just going to stop worrying about my daughter or my son. It doesn't work that way, right? But you've got to look in the mirror and figure out, what can I do to change this situation? Because all my energy is going towards worry. And that is not healthy for you at all. And so I encourage you to find that thing. And in fact, in the comments, I would love to hear, what is that next thing that you can do when you look in the mirror and say, what is it? What is it that I like to do? What is one thing? It can be small. What is one thing that you can do for yourself? Another is to make sure that you allow yourself to express these emotions to someone safe. Sometimes that person might be your husband. It might be, a boyfriend or whatever it is, whoever it is, a best friend. But if you are in a situation where you are not surrounding yourself with other moms who have gone through this situation or who are in this situation right now, then you need to find a group of sorts, because You need support from people who can empathize with you. And trust me, I know I always thought my friends will understand. They love me. My friends may have understood for a period of time. This went on for 10 years. And I lost friends because I was expressing my feelings to the wrong people. Because after a while, they don't know how to help, because literally they haven't gone through anything like this. And you and I both know this is a situation that unless you've gone through it, you can't relate. And that's okay. It doesn't mean your friends don't love you. It just means they're not the people to bare your soul to about this. And so for those of you that are interested in my membership, I have a group coaching program where you would be surrounded with other moms and myself. We meet twice a week, and you're able to come as often as you're able. So if you want more information on that, you can click the discovery call below, and I would love to share more information and talk with you about that. But that is something, you need some type of a group in your life. You need a support system. So another thing too, that a lot of moms, we worry, we're so consumed with the worry. And I think that we need to realize that sometimes, as I mentioned in my last video about grief, when you talk about grieving, we have to realize that in the moment, doesn't mean it's forever, but in the moment, we have to grieve the loss of what we had hoped for our child about their current reality. So their current reality may not match up at all with these things that we had hoped for them. Of course not. We would never hope any of these things that they're dealing with on them, or anyone else for that matter. And so you do need to let that go and just grieve that and just say, okay, well, this is where we're at today, but it doesn't mean we're going to stay here. And so with that, you need also, a group can really help you with that, and just being able to know that even though you can't see the forest for the trees, right? I can. I have enough hope for both of us on the days that you don't. And I sincerely mean that. I sincerely mean that, because I didn't have a lot of hope in my relationship, in my life going through this. In the first several years, I didn't. And when I started turning things around, that's when things started happening. While I wallowed and worried and did all these things that I had no control over, that is when I switched that and I started focusing on Sally and started taking care of me, everything started changing for the better. And so I want you to make a plan on how you will continue in your own life in the midst of this turmoil that your child's going through. You may be estranged. You may just be dealing with, some defiance or disrespect, or just the relationship is not going well. Maybe it's communication. Maybe it's boundaries. Maybe you're enabling. Who knows what is going on? A lot of times we react when we're worried so much. If they call and they ask for something and you know that that's enabling in your certain situation, we're so full of worry that we don't know what else to do. So we just react and we give and we do these things that end up harming our own life and our own finances and our own lives. And so I want you to think about that today, and I hope this helps you, and I hope this helps you on your first step to not worrying. And I look forward to talking to you about my group coaching program, because that is going to be a safe place where you are truly feel, and the best way I can say it is there's a mom in my group that usually says this to people when they start. She said, we can't guarantee that your child's going to change, but you will. And when you think about that, that's what it's all about, because you can only control you. And so I hope this blesses you today, and I'll see you next time.